Ever wonder why your grandpa's garage was always stocked with Western Auto parts? It wasn't just because he loved tinkering with cars. Western Auto was once the go-to place for everything from spark plugs to bicycles, touching the lives of millions of Americans. Stick around as we uncover the rise and fall of a company that was as American as apple pie. In 1909, a young entrepreneur named George Pepperdine had a simple idea that would change how America drove. Picture this: the streets of Kansas City, Missouri, filled with the putt-putt of early automobiles. The Model T had just rolled off the assembly line, and suddenly, everyday Americans were embracing the freedom of the open road. But there was just one problem. These newfangled machines were complicated beasts, prone to breakdowns and in constant need of repair. For most folks, owning a car meant frequent, expensive trips to the mechanic. But Pepperdine saw an opportunity. He realized that with a little know-how and the right parts, people could fix their own cars. It was a revolutionary concept at a time when most car owners were at the mercy of professional mechanics. With just $5 in his pocket, Pepperdine took a leap of faith. He ordered a batch of discount auto parts and placed an ad in the Kansas City Star. The response was overwhelming. Rural Americans, tired of being stranded with broken-down jalopies, jumped at the chance to take repairs into their own hands. Pepperdine's $5 gamble paid off big time, and Western Auto Supply Company was born. At first, Western Auto focused exclusively on parts for the Model T. It made sense. Ford's affordable car was everywhere, especially in rural areas where folks needed reliable transportation to cover long distances. Pepperdine's catalog became a lifeline for Model T owners, offering everything from spark plugs to axles at prices that wouldn't break the bank. But Western Auto didn't just sell parts. They empowered a generation of DIY mechanics. Their catalogs were filled with detailed diagrams and step-by-step instructions, turning even the most mechanically challenged farmers into competent car repairmen. For rural Americans, this was a game changer. No longer did a broken fan belt mean a day's journey to the nearest town. With Western Auto's help, they could get back on the road in no time. The company's motto said it all: everything for the auto. And they meant it. As cars evolved, so did Western Auto's inventory. They stocked parts for every make and model, ensuring that no matter what you drove, they had you covered. This comprehensive approach built intense customer loyalty. People knew that if they needed a part, Western Auto would have it. Western Auto's success with mail order was just the beginning. Pepperdine had his sights set on something bigger. He envisioned a network of stores where customers could get parts, advice, and service all in one place. It was a bold move, expanding from catalogs to brick-and-mortar locations. But Pepperdine understood that sometimes you need to see and touch a part before you buy it. The first Western Auto store opened its doors in 1921, right there in Kansas City where it all began. It was an instant hit. Customers loved the hands-on experience, the ability to ask questions, and the friendly staff who spoke their language. These weren't snooty mechanics looking to overcharge. They were neighbors helping neighbors keep their cars running smoothly. Remember the thrill of getting your first bike? For millions of American kids in the mid-20th century, that bike was likely a Western Flyer. But wait, wasn't Western Auto all about, well, autos? The surprising twist in Western Auto's story shows how one company's evolution mirrored the changing face of American consumerism. As the roar of the Model T faded into memory, Western Auto faced a crossroads. They'd built their empire on car parts, but times were changing. The company had to evolve or risk being left in the dust. It was a gamble that would either cement their place in American life or send them careening off course. Enter the Western Flyer bicycle. Introduced in the 1930s, this sturdy, affordable two-wheeler quickly became the dream of every kid on the block. By the 1950s, owning a Western Flyer was practically a rite of passage. Kids would save up their allowance for months, dreaming of the day they'd pedal their very own Western Flyer down the street. It wasn't just a bike, it was freedom on two wheels, a ticket to adventure in a time before video games and smartphones. But Western Auto didn't stop at bicycles. They saw an opportunity to become part of every aspect of American life. Soon, their stores were stocked with everything from refrigerators to fishing rods. Need a new radio for your living room? Western Auto had you covered. Planning a camping trip? They had tents, coolers, and all the gear you could want. It was a one-stop shop before the term even existed. This diversification was a bold move. Some worried that straying too far from their auto roots would alienate their core customers. But Western Auto understood something crucial about the American consumer. Convenience was king. Why make multiple stops when you could get everything you needed in one place? The strategy paid off in spades. Western Auto stores became fixtures in communities across the country. They weren't just places to shop. They were local institutions. The friendly, knowledgeable staff could help you pick out the perfect birthday gift for your kid or give you advice on how to fix that leaky faucet. It was like having a trusted neighbor who just happened to have everything you needed. This personal touch set Western Auto apart in an era before big box stores dominated the landscape. Customers knew they could count on Western Auto for quality products and expert advice. Whether you needed a new carburetor or a crock pot, the folks at Western Auto had your back. The company's innovative approach extended beyond their product offerings. They pioneered a hybrid model of retail, blending the convenience of mail-order catalogs with the personal service of brick-and-mortar stores. Customers could browse the catalog at home, then head to their local Western Auto to pick up their purchase or get hands-on with products before buying. It was a level of flexibility that was years ahead of its time. By the 1960s, Western Auto had transformed from a niche auto parts supplier into a beloved American brand. They'd become an integral part of daily life, from the bikes kids rode to school to the appliances humming in kitchens across the country. The company that started by helping rural Americans keep their Model Ts running had grown into something much bigger, a one-stop shop for the American dream. Picture this. It's 1960, and Western Auto is everywhere. From small towns to big cities, their stores are as common as gas stations. But what made them so popular? The answer involves NASCAR, credit cards, and a revolutionary approach to shopping that was decades ahead of its time. By the 1960s, Western Auto had become a fixture in American communities, with stores dotting the landscape from coast to coast. Their familiar sign was a beacon for shoppers, promising everything from car parts to household appliances under one roof. But Western Auto's success wasn't just about what they sold, it was how they sold it. At the heart of Western Auto's dominance was a unique hybrid model that combined the best of mail order and brick-and-mortar shopping. Long before the age of online retail, Western Auto customers could browse extensive catalogs at home, then either pick up their purchases in-store or have them delivered. This flexibility was a game-changer, offering convenience that other retailers simply couldn't match. But Western Auto's real secret weapon was its people. The company invested heavily in employee training, ensuring that every staff member was a knowledgeable expert in their products. Whether you needed advice on fixing your car or choosing the right refrigerator, Western Auto's friendly faces were there to help. This commitment to customer service built intense loyalty, with shoppers returning time and again for the personalized attention they couldn't find elsewhere. Western Auto's innovation extended to how they helped customers pay for big-ticket items. Their credit plan was revolutionary for its time, allowing families to finance everything from automotive repairs to new appliances. This made Western Auto's products accessible to a broader range of customers, fueling the company's growth and cementing its place in American households. But Western Auto wasn't content to just sell parts. They wanted to be part of the action. In the 1950s and 60s, the company dove headfirst into the world of motorsports, sponsoring NASCAR teams and events. This high-octane involvement not only boosted Western Auto's brand recognition, but also reinforced their automotive expertise. For racing fans, seeing the Western Auto logo on the track was a testament to the quality of their parts. As Western Auto's influence grew, so did its product range. The company that started with Model T parts now offered everything from fishing rods to television sets. This diversification was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it made Western Auto a true one-stop shop for American consumers. On the other, It meant the company was stretching itself into unfamiliar territory, competing with specialists in various fields. By the late 1960s, Western Auto seemed unstoppable. They had a winning formula: convenient shopping options, knowledgeable staff, flexible financing, and a diverse product range. Their stores were more than just retail outlets. They were community hubs where people gathered to shop, socialize, and solve their automotive and household needs. Yet, as Western Auto reached its zenith, storm clouds were gathering on the horizon. The retail landscape was shifting, with new competitors emerging and consumer habits changing. The very things that had made Western Auto successful, their broad product range, their focus on personal service, their extensive network of smaller stores, would soon be challenged by a new breed of retailer. Western Auto's success story seemed unstoppable, but what if their greatest strength was actually their fatal flaw? As the 1970s rolled in, a seismic shift in the retail world was about to turn Western Auto's diverse product range from a golden goose into a millstone around their neck. The rise of big-box retailers like Walmart and Kmart brought a new era of shopping to America. These giants offered a dizzying array of products at rock-bottom prices, challenging Western Auto's comfortable position in the market. Suddenly, the one-stop shop model that had made Western Auto a household name wasn't so unique anymore. Walmart's aggressive pricing strategies hit Western Auto where it hurt, undercutting them on everything from tires to toasters. But it wasn't just the big boxes that were giving Western Auto a run for its money. A new breed of specialized auto parts retailers like AutoZone and Pep Boys emerged, laser-focused on car parts and services. These stores offered a depth of inventory and expertise that Western Auto, with its broader focus, struggled to match. The very diversity that had once been Western Auto's strength now left them caught in the middle. Not as cheap as Walmart, not as specialized as AutoZone. Western Auto's stores, once the pride of Main Street, began to show their age. While competitors invested in modern layouts and flashy displays, many Western Auto locations felt stuck in the past. The company that had once been on the cutting edge of retail innovation now seemed slow to adapt to changing consumer tastes. In a desperate bid to stay relevant, Western Auto made a move that would ultimately seal its fate. In 1988, the company was sold to Sears, another American retail icon facing its own challenges. The idea was to combine forces and create a powerhouse in the automotive sector. But instead of rejuvenating the brand, the Sears acquisition marked the beginning of the end for Western Auto's distinct identity. As Western Auto stores were integrated into the Sears corporate structure, they began to lose the personal touch that had made them special. The friendly neighborhood feel gave way to a more generic shopping experience. Longtime customers noticed the difference, and foot traffic began to decline. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Western Auto's market share continued to erode. The company that had once been a fixture in nearly every American town found itself closing stores and retreating from markets it had dominated for decades. Analysts pointed to a perfect storm of factors: the rise of specialized competitors, the pricing pressure from big box stores, and Western Auto's own inability to adapt quickly enough to the changing retail landscape. In a cruel twist of irony, the company's attempts to stay competitive by expanding actually contributed to its downfall. Western Auto opened more locations than it could effectively manage, spreading its resources thin and leading to operational inefficiencies. The strategy that had once fueled its growth now drained resources from its more successful stores. By the late 1980s, it was clear that Western Auto's days as a retail giant were numbered. The company that had helped put America on wheels was now struggling to keep up with the rapid pace of change in the retail world. The diverse product range that had once been Western Auto's calling card had become a liability in an era that favored specialization and rock-bottom prices. But even as Western Auto's familiar signs began to disappear from American streets, the impact of this once mighty retailer would continue to be felt in unexpected ways. The story of Western Auto's rise and fall held valuable lessons for the future of American retail, lessons that would become increasingly relevant as more iconic brands faced similar challenges in the years to come.